If you're raising a child with special needs, you already know there's no one size fits all way to do this. Making sure you're not figuring it out all alone, you're doing something powerful. That's what this podcast is about. Okay, hi, we are here with Leslie Patrick from Restorative Healthcare, and I'm so excited that you're here to join.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for this honor and this opportunity.
I'm excited to learn more about what you do because it's so important.
Yeah, it is. It is. I have to agree, but thank you.
Yes, it is. It is. So yeah, let's get stuck in. Tell us about your agency, why you started it,
Okay.
what the cause.
Well, Restorative Healthcare has been, we've had the company for over 20 years,
Nice.
but we were doing more durable medical equipment and other things. And then we moved into the pediatric space. I am a registered nurse by trade, over 28 years of experience, ICU, GI, group homes that dedicated themselves to special needs young adults, basically supervising their needs, their health care. So this was not a big stretch to go into the pediatric space. And more than anything else, it was I wanted to help with the knowledge deficit because some parents or family members or caregivers really don't know about this program and what we can do to assist them in their homes.
Yeah. So I know, I think what's really unique about your agency is that you're focused on that fragile, which
Yeah.
is so important.
Yeah. And medically fragile, it really means just a chronic type of condition, serious health condition, or something that has to be managed long term. Um, those types of, and makes the child more fragile in the system. So those things could be cerebral palsy, it could be muscular dystrophy, it could be prematurity with adverse effects, oxygen dependence, ventilation. So all of these things are what we call more serious health conditions and that need to be managed long term.
Yeah. I see that's so important, especially a lot of people come to La Papa saying, "Oh, do you work with tube feeding kids?" And I'm like, "Well, that's not our."
Yeah, that's
And
such a
it's
scope.
yeah, that's not our area, and it's such a high need. I've heard so many different stories with kids that are tube fed in the different areas. So could you speak to that a bit more about why fragile care is so important and what happens when these families don't have access to that care?
Yes, I can. Basically, with fragile children, like I said, many parents or custodians or foster parents do not know about the position. So, as far as the care, so why it's so important to have is because these these people are doing it all on their own, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, over and over and over again. And what I mean by that is the tube feeding that could be round the clock, oxygen, making sure that they have their oxygen needs, making sure the ventilator is working throughout the night. That is, you're up, you're
Yeah.
doing those things, and you're exhausted. You have other children. You're not able to. You're only one, maybe two people in the home, and to do all of that care, it can be very overwhelming.
Yeah.
So this kind of agency helps to be another layer of support. So that parent, that custodian, that foster mom or dad, they're not in it alone.
That's beautiful.
We have an extension of the care.
I love that extension of the care. That's amazing.
Mhm.
And I can imagine the amount of relief that parents must feel
Mhm.
when they're like, okay, I can take, I don't have to do it 24 hours.
Right.
I can just imagine how much relief that is for those families.
I love it because we're GAP providers. That's a Georgia
Nice.
pediatric program, and that's a state-run program, Medicaid-funded. And what they do is we do all the paperwork. We make sure we go in the home, assess that client, talk with the families, find out what their needs are, find out what their desires are, for that plan of care.
Mm,
And so then there's a care plan individualized for that client,
nice.
for that family.
Mhm.
And then we send that paperwork off and we are told, okay, this is the amount of hours that we can staff for
Mm,
either a nurse, registered nurse, or a personal care assistant to be in that home to provide that care.
nice. So, like, say your family is new, is there like a specific timing? I know you said that it comes in their care plans. What is the average amount of time of care that a family can access through your agency?
Oh, well, if you're asking how long it takes for the application process, or are you talking about after they get the approval?
Well, both.
Okay. So the application process takes, I would say, 30 to 45 days average.
Mhm.
It's not a waiver program, so it's not like you're on the list for years
Mm,
waiting. So it's 30 to 45 days. Once that happens, you're given the amount of hours as the family per week of either skilled care
mhm,
or personal care support. Now, in personal care support, yes, if the parent is eligible, they may also be able to take care of their child
mm.
through the agency
Wow.
if they're eligible. And so that's another thing that it affords the parent.
So a parent that is, I don't know if you caught this, but a parent that is already looking after their child can potentially work through your agency
If
and
they're
get paid
if they're
to.
eligible, yes.
That's
And that's through
amazing.
the state, their eligibility and making sure. But yes, that is something that can't also because they're doing the work.
Mm,
They're doing
that's
the work.
amazing. So
Hmm.
all parents out there who are, because like statistically shows, like 40% of parents leave their full time work
Absolutely.
because they're caring for a child that has special needs.
Or they even have reduced hours from the job they may have.
Yeah.
So it's not even they can't even work full time any longer.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have bills
Mm-hmm.
and expenses
Mm-hmm.
and they have other children.
Yeah.
And sometimes even for their other children, they may not be able to go to school activities or
Mm,
do the things that they can for the other children because they have a special needs child that needs attention.
yeah.
So these things are, like I said, we're a next layer of support
Mm,
for these families so they can just open up that bandwidth a little bit
it's amazing.
and be able to say, hey, I want to go out and garden
Mm,
for 30 minutes.
yeah.
And that brings more good mental health for that family because that parent or guardian is able to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing
Yeah.
because parents are so overwhelmed, families are overwhelmed.
Hmm.
It has an impact on the siblings, it had an impact on the parents. Some families end up in divorce. There's so much that has a knock on effect
Hmm.
that just inserting your agency into that space there
Yeah.
can like be a whole world of difference for those.
Yeah, you mentioned something that is so important, talking about the family dynamics.
Mm,
Isolation is another thing
mhm,
for these caregivers who do this because they can't go to different functions as other people do, or they have to remain with that child because they want to, of course,
mm,
but there's no extra layer of support
mm,
to help them. Hey, if they have to go to a doctor's appointment to take care of their own bodies,
yeah.
they're able to do that while there's a competent, skilled nurse
Hmm.
or personal care assistant there in the home.
Nice. Nice. So for the I know you mentioned that families are able to join your agency. For the people who are skilled nurses and PCAs are like, I would really like to work with that agency. How
Yeah.
do they get involved in your
They
process?
can go on our website and fill out some information there. They can also call us.
Hmm.
Our number is on our website, and I'm sure it'd probably be on some information here. But our number here is 470-336-4055.
Say that one more
Four
time.
seven zero 336-4055. And we'll have someone to answer your questions, talk with you about any positioning, or just help you understand what this is about because we are very particular about who comes in the home.
Yeah.
We want to make sure they're licensed,
Mhm.
credentialed,
Mhm.
background checked, and also that they're a good fit for the home. They could have all of those things and be a great person
Mhm.
and qualified.
Mm.
But we do meet and greets.
Right.
So then the parent or the guardian or caregiver can have a feel if this is something they want. They have freedom of choice.
Yeah. I think that's so important, that freedom of choice and that meet and greet, because parents don't always know who it is that's going to be coming into their home to look after their child. And like, that's huge.
It is huge.
Like,
It's serious. Yeah,
yeah.
it's huge. And you want to feel comfortable because a lot of these parents have hands on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're hands on with their child. And now someone is stepping in. And it's not the hospital setting. You know, there's a difference with the hospital setting and the home setting. The hospital setting, and, you know, I always say home care, um, hospitals are for acute
Mm-hmm.
things. The home is for living. So
Mm.
for that child, it's so much better for them to heal and be able to thrive in a way because they know the sounds of the house,
Mm-hmm.
the smells of the
Yeah.
house, the voices, the chitter chatter, the laughter. They know it.
Mm-hmm.
So to go into a home, we have to just be cognizant of the connection and making sure that it's a good connection for the parent.
Yeah. I love what you touched on as well, is that difference between that hospital or outside home setting versus the comfort of a
Hmm.
home.
Hmm.
Like, could you speak more to that?
Yeah. Hospitals, like I said, are for acute situations. They're in there to get you in and get you out successfully, but to treat you so you can go home and recover. The difference is we really, because we have the agency and we have skilled nursing and skilled nursing oversight in that home, hospitalizations are reduced.
Nice.
ER visits are
Mm-hmm.
reduced. So now and even when it comes to school dynamics, if the
Mm.
child is going to school, now there's a continuity of care even with the school and that home nurse, because
Nice.
the home nurse may be able to educate the parents about how to go into the IEP process,
Mm-hmm.
talk in there about the needs that child may have in the school.
Nice.
So
So, does your agency support that kind of? Because I know the system is fragmented, crazy.
Yeah.
There's
The
so much
right doesn't know
disconnect.
what the left is
Like,
doing.
no one knows why this person is up north and that's like, what is happening?
Yeah. You're right. And that's why it's so important that we collaborate
Mm.
with the schools. And hey, this is release of information to the schools, and schools release information with us. So then if there's something going on, I had a client that was not having, her seizures were being, they were stable in the home. She has a seizure disorder, and you're going to see seizures, but they were managed, and she would have some breakthrough seizures once in a while. But when she went to school, it was another level to where she kept on having seizures and
Wow.
ambulance called and different things like that. And so we had to say, hey, we're not seeing this here. Is there something going on there? Is it some trigger at the school that's causing this client to have more seizures in the school? Well, and then also that client needs a nurse in the school
Yeah.
to help them with if there's a medication that needs to be given so they're not missing any doses. Is it smells? Is it what could it is it heat?
Mm-hmm.
Is it cold? Those types of things. And we were able, now she's doing much better
Wow.
in the school setting.
Yeah.
And we weren't even in the school. We're separate because that's a different entity,
Mm-hmm.
but we're in the home, and we were able to, hey, these are some things, and educate the mom to even talk about with the school.
I love that because it doesn't only just take a village, it takes cooperation and communication across the whole team that's surrounding that child. And I
Mhm.
love that you guys do that, like
Yeah.
supporting the parent with IEP awareness, knowing what questions to ask.
Yeah.
Like, how do you even communicate with the child nurse at school? Like, what is happening at home versus what is happening at school? And why
Yeah.
is this situation so
Yeah.
different?
And why are we seeing it often? Yeah.
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 That's amazing.
Yeah. And also there's communication like um if a child has to go to the doctor, which that is another thing that's a stressor for parents and for caregivers, is the amount of appointments they
Mm,
have for their children, how they have to manage those appointments. Um, so what we do is our nurse or personal care support will go with the parent to the doctor's
nice.
appointment and will listen to what's happening. They can, especially our nurses that oversee, they can hear what's going on, critically think, and say, "Hey, Doctor So and So, this is what we're seeing, and is there any way we can have a plan for that to send to the school because we're seeing this?" And that was one of the things that happened.
Wow.
Hmm.
I love that because it's communication not just with the school, it's communication with the hospital, it's
Yeah.
communication with the in-home care team.
And with the doctors, if we can connect, because doctors are treating this patient, but they
Mhm.
don't have the whole scope
Yeah.
of everything, and rightly so.
Yeah.
They're in the office,
Mhm.
and so having a nurse come in and talk about those things with the doctor, um, and just also if physical therapy, they're seeing certain things not happening, they can talk about that. Hey, we're doing these exercises. I don't know if we can do something. Maybe you can adjust some things. Maybe we're seeing this in the home. So it's really an added support.
I love that. It's like your extra arm.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing. Hey, is there anything that you feel like I should have asked you that I've not asked?
Oh my goodness. Done an amazing job. I would say the just getting the word out that this is a program that even if you are a caregiver or parent or mom or dad that really is on top of everything,
Hmm.
you can do everything. Doesn't mean you have to do
Yeah.
everything. And having added support helps you to see,
Hmm.
wow, how much you were doing
Yeah.
and that this is okay.
Yeah.
You have the permission
Yeah.
to have help.
That is so powerful because I think sometimes people think there's either the stigma around asking for help, there's the
Mm,
wanting to be Superman, Superwoman, there's the feeling like you're going to be a burden on someone. There's so many
that's good.
things that come around.
Hmm.
Like maybe they've asked their family for support and their family said no, and now they don't
Yeah,
want to ask anyone else for support. So they've like left and they think they got to carry the weight by themselves.
right.
Like, I love that you mentioned that. Like, you don't have to do it.
No. No, and as a matter of fact, after a while, it takes a toll on you,
Hmm.
either mentally, or emotionally, or physically, doing everything on your own.
Yeah.
So it's good if there is a service out there that is willing to help and you have a voice in it. You have a voice in the care, you have a voice in who comes there. You have a voice in how this goes
Yeah.
and the freedom of choice of, yeah, I like this nurse, but can we see about this?
Mhm.
Because I want somebody like this for this. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You have that choice.
I love that because, again, the person that comes into your home, the person that's working with your child,
Hmm.
like, parents know, I always think like parents are the experts
Yeah,
on their
they are.
child. Like
Mhm.
they're with that child all day, every day. Like they know
Right.
that child more than anyone else.
Right.
Like, so I love that you're emphasizing that personal choice because the parents are like, that person is going to be right for my child. That person is not.
Yeah.
Like, this person might have XYZ qualifications, but they're not the right fit for my family. Like,
Right.
and I think that voice and that choice is so
It
important.
is very important. And I love that as this agency works by integrity. This agency works by honesty, integrity, and making sure that we listen. So when we talk about home care, it's respecting that person's home. respecting their space, um, not, bogarting. There's a difference with someone who's confident in their skills as far as a skilled nurse or personal care support and, hey, this is what I see I can do for you, than this is what I'm going to do. There's a
Mm.
difference. I can do this. Would you like that?
Yeah.
I'm asking
Yeah.
permission to see if this is okay with you.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, we have to respect the home.
I love that. What are two things that you want anyone that's watching the video to know?
Two things: that the GAP program is here. We're a GAP provider, and we will work hard and diligent to make sure that we have the right um, people in your home. That is the one thing that we're serious about. Being a nurse means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand the whole, I understand the clinical side, but also we look at the emotional and the mental side of all of this. Okay. Um, and the second thing is that you have the freedom to choose.
I love
So we love for you to look at our agency, but you have the freedom to choose. And I like people who have choices.
Yeah.
And sometimes people feel a little bit like out of control, or like they don't have choices in when they have to take care of all these things, but you do have choices when you come to an agency.
I love that. Speaking of agencies, how do we find you if you're watching this video?
Yeah, we are on social media. Um, the website is rchcare.com. That's rchcare.com. You'll find our social media handles on that website as well. And our number here again is 470-336-4055. That's 470-336-4055. We'll have a representative answer that call, answer your questions, and then start the process.
Nice. And that is rchcare.com.
Yes, it is.
rchcare.com. Make sure you check it out. Until next time, this has been the Love How Podcast, and I am so excited that we've been able to speak to you today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for the amazing work that you do.
Oh,
Your
no.
amazing agency.
You do so much work, and thank you for how you have us on here to just share the resources for the community. You care a lot.
It's important. Like the word needs to be out. Like
it does.
If you've got children,
yeah,
you deserve to have a break as well. You
Yeah.
deserve to know what's in your area. You deserve to know what's available to you. And that's why we exist.
That's right. Because we care.
Yeah, that's it. Until next time.
Bye.